That's the first thing I think. I need to make that far.
Okay lang pong magpahinga, okay lang pong ramdamin yung sakit, pero wag na wag niyong bibitawan yung pangarap niyo.
Kung tatanungin kung kaya kong higitan, kailangan kong tanggapin na kaya ko.
Hello, sports fans. This is Quinito Henson.
And I am Dyan Castillejo. Get ready to uncover the future of Philippine sports.
So let's navigate and break down this game.
And kick it back with our inspiring athletes.
Olympics are just around the corner. And here on Play It Right TV, we want to keep you up to speed on the preparations of our Filipino athletes going to Tokyo.
Wow, stay with us because we have with us our female Olympic boxer, Nesthy Petecio. We have our pole vaulter, EJ Obiena. And we also have our four-time Olympic qualifier from weightlifting, Hidilyn Diaz. Plus, the president of the Filipino Olympic Committee, Bambol Tolentino.
Unbelievable. That's an all-star cast. And here on Play It Right TV, we cheer for our athletes and we're always here for the sports fans.
This is your one-stop shop for the latest on the greatest in sports. We are here to play it right.
Play it right. Well, today we have the pleasure of chatting with the first Filipino qualifier to the Tokyo Olympics. And he's none other than our pole vault bet, EJ Obiena. EJ, welcome to Play It Right TV. We're so happy to see you, looking so good. I think your vibe is so positive.
So far, so good. You know, the good thing, it's an Olympic training center. People doesn't really go out. All the people here are mostly vying for Olympic slot, or everybody gets tested before they get in. So the training center is the safest place for me to be in, and I feel okay. You know, in general, Italy is opening up. Restaurants are open, but no restaurants for me. Don't want to take that risk. So
let's talk about the results you've been able to achieve in your competition so far. You've been making it a habit to land a podium finish. You've also reset your personal record. You've jumped 5.85 meters. Tell us what that does in terms of getting you really fired up for the coming Tokyo Olympics.
Doesn't really get me that fired up per se, but it definitely shows me what I can do. I can go toe to toe with these guys, and that's why I'm doing all this competition, to build that feeling of competing with the best of the best. That's why I'm in the meets where Tiago is at. That's why I'm in the meet where Mondo is, or Arman. It's gonna be Olympics. It's a different track. It's a different stadium, but it's probably gonna be the same people there. So, you know, that's how I kind of see it.
EJ, you've been away so long. Pero before this whole COVID problem happened, what was your plan talaga to train for the Olympics?
Plan was to basically get the most time that I can right after SEA Games. That's why a day after, basically 2 days after, I flew right back in Italy. Didn't really have exact plan of where we're going to do camps during that time, but the plan was to just get the most out of training and be with Vitaly as much as I can, because, you know, he's my coach. He knows the best of the best, and I need to follow whatever direction he thinks is the right for me.
Can you tell us where you're at right now? Because I know you've been through so many things, ups and downs, so many challenges. And how have your parents helped you through this difficult road, even if they're away?
Yes, I was just trying to stay connected with them, but at the same time, I'm not really dwelling on the fact that I haven't been home for more than a year. I don't even count anymore. So, you know, I think that's something that I need to kind of just refrain myself from going that path.
Tell us how Vitaly and Tiago have motivated you.
It was actually Buka when he introduced me to Vitaly. He didn't tell me I'll be training with his former coach. When I knew it was Vitaly, it was just like starstruck, you know, seeing this guy like coach a lot of greats, the greats in my event. It's the guy who takes care of me more than just an athlete. He cares for me as a person. You know, he showed me how to be a better athlete, a better man, a better person. It's very difficult to explain how much he has affected my life. And at the same time, during the time Tiago was training with Vitaly as well, just training with a guy who's been in the top of the game, it shows you how it's done. You see it, and it inspires you. It makes you a better athlete.
EJ, going back to 2017, you suffered a major ACL injury. You know, we've been talking about the sacrifices you've been doing. That had to be a huge sacrifice for you. Tell us about your journey coming back from a serious injury and willing yourself to bounce back.
You know, that ACL injury was I would say that was a pivot point. It showed me how much I love the sport and how much I care for this Olympic dream of mine. It made me focus. It made me realize what's important for me. And that gave me, how do you say, a different kind of drive. Going through a major surgery like that, you know, you come back, but you don't come back the same. Knowing that gave me the direction that I needed. That's why I took all the decisions that I've been taking. I knew that if I didn't even give an effort to try and make it to a single Olympics, I would regret it when I cannot do it anymore.
Do you have all your poles with you? You have everything set? And when are you flying to Tokyo?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I actually told Patafa and Sir Popoy, I was actually looking for flights to make sure that my poles are going to get in. And there was a bit of a mishap, I think a miscommunication, because I've asked people in Japan, my fellow pole vaulters, like, hey, how do you guys travel with your poles locally? And they told me, to be honest, we travel by car or we ship it. But there's no local airlines that's willing. And I've researched everything and look at the flights that would be possible from Tokyo, because Tokyo is their international airport. So I'll be flying from Rome to Tokyo. The problem is from Tokyo to Nagasaki, where Sir Popoy said our training camp would be, which is roughly 1,300 kilometers or something. So it's not an easy drive per se. It's at least 15 hours. So just all these logistical things, I was trying to figure it out. And to be honest, there wasn't any flight, I think, that would accept the poles, but I believe they tried to do that. I believe Patafa tried to do that, and then something happened. We ended up driving from Tokyo to Nagasaki, and Vitaly didn't want that for me, because he said flying 12 hours, waiting in Tokyo, and then driving for another 15, it's going to take a while for you to get back from. So we decided to leave Rome on the 22nd, arrive in Tokyo on the 23rd, and then we're going to be staying in hotel. I'm not really exactly sure the name of the hotel, but this is the plan that POC and Patafa has made for us possible. That's the option that we have currently. So we're flying, staying in the hotel. The next day we'll be going to the village, and then on the 25th I would have access on the training facility. So I think that's the option that we kind of figured out that is feasible for me to be able to have a fighting chance come that day that I need to compete. Regarding my poles, it's still with Patafa. To be honest, I'm not that involved anymore because I'm focusing on my competition and my training. It's I left it at them. Hope that everything is going well, because I need it as soon as possible. But I think they're handling it quite okay.
Okay, fast forward, Tokyo Olympics. It's going to be a very, very different environment. No spectators, a lot of safety protocols, very restrictive in terms of your movement. You're going up against the world's best. You've mentioned Mondo. You mentioned Thiago. What's going to be your mindset when you're there, looking at that bar and holding your pole?
I need to make that bar. That's it. I need to make that bar. That's every time. That's the thing. When they set that bar and I'm the one jumping, that's the first thing I think. I need to make that bar. That's it. You know, that bar might be for a medal. That bar might be a record. That might, whatever bar it is, I need to make that. That's it. It needs to stay there after vault, and I need to go over, not under. So, you know, I just need to do that, and that's the same approach I'm gonna do there. Just a little bit more higher stakes, but it's the same thing, you know. Just need to do what I do.
And EJ, in behalf of all of us here sa Play It Right, we're so proud of you. We wish you all the best. We're cheering for you, and we know that everything's gonna work out. And yeah, we're believing with you that we're gonna see you in the podium receiving your medal.
Thank you so much, and I really love the name Play It Right. It means, you know, do it the right way, and I believe in that. That's awesome. It's an awesome title. I love it.
Hey Diane, that was some interview. I mean, just to talk to EJ about his journey. It's so tough living alone, being away from family, but he's just so focused. And Diane, when we asked him the question about his ACL injury,
Yeah.
a 6-month period when he had to think whether he would go on or just quit, I thought that was a big crossroads decision. You know, he decided he'll go for it. He wants that Olympic stint. And I'm just hoping and praying that he will land that podium finish that the whole country wants for EJ Obiena.
Just because of everything that he's been through, the injury, the journey in Europe, you know, all the things he's had to do. I mean, you heard him say about, I mean, how difficult it is just to bring his poles, diba, from one competition to another. Just the fact that, you know, a world-class coach like Vitaly has taken him under his wing. For all his effort, I really hope that he's gonna be on his best on the day that he competes in Tokyo. And he's one of those guys that I really hope will land a medal. And, you know, of course, a gold is gonna be very difficult, but in his sport, I guess everything's possible. And yeah, let's pray that he's on top of his game. Up next on Play It Right, let us welcome 2019 IBA World Featherweight Champion, SEA Games gold medalist, and Tokyo-bound Pinay boxer, Nestie Petecio. Hi,
Hello
Nestie!
Hello po ma'am, hello sir.
So, magkwento ka naman sa amin, kamusta ang training mo dyan sa Thailand na preparation for the Tokyo Olympics?
Okay po, nai-enjoy po namin yun. Ako, nai-enjoy ko po yung training namin dito kahit malayo po sa pamilya. So, 3 months na po kami. Dito na po kami since March po. So, sa training schedule po namin, dapat yung Saturday namin, half day lang po kami. Pero may training din po kami buong Saturday po kasi yun po yung schedule ng sparring ng Thailand. So, sumasabay po kami sa kung ano po yung training program po nila. Grabe po yung hard training na pinapagawa po sa amin ni Coach doon. Regarding naman po sa food, ayun, noong una din po, medyo nagulat kami kasi puro maanghang, kumbaga sili talaga. Yun yung pagkain nila dito eh. So, medyo adjust po din po kami sa pagkain po, sa maanghang.
Ang ganda ng glow mo, parang championship glow.
Oo nga eh.
Na-feel ko yung vibe. Ha, Nestie? Balikan natin yung Southeast Asian Games. Okay, nanala ko ng 2019. Pero bago noon, 3 sunod-sunod na Southeast Asian Games, natalo ka sa finals. Okay, nakakuha ka ng silver medal, pero never gold. Biglang-bigla, 2019, sa Pilipinas ginawa yung kampyonato at nakakuha ka ng gold medal. Ano yung pakiramdam mo? Yung pressure na manalo ng gold medal pagkatapos kang natalo ng 3 sunod-sunod.
Ako po, hindi ko po iniisip yung mga nakuha kong medalya sa mga nakaraan kong games po eh. So, ang iniisip ko kapag kada laro po, bagong competition pong pinagsasalihan ko, kumbaga, bagong achievements na naman po yun, bagong medalya na naman po yun. So, yung record, kinakalimutan ko po eh. So, performance po yung pagbabasihan sa taas ng ring po. Wala pong pangalan, wala pong champion. Kumbaga, performance po, yun po yung lagi ko pong iniisip.
So, dahan din ulit natin ngayon yung nangyari sa iyo sa Jordan. Natalo ka sa quarterfinals, hindi ka nakakuha ng automatic Olympic ticket. Pero pagkatapos kang natalo at hindi ka nakakuha ng automatic Olympic ticket, nabigyan ka ng pagkakataon. Yung continental quota allocation, kung kaya doon nakapasok ka sa Olympics. Anong pakiramdam mo?
Thankful po at blessed po ako kay Lord na binigyan niya po ako ng pagkakataon na makasali po sa Tokyo po. Lagi ko pong iniisip po kasi once na hindi ko po nakuha yung mga bagay na pinaka gusto kong makuha talaga. Kumbaga lagi ko pong iniisip na may mas magandang piniprepare po ang Diyos para sa akin po na gusto niya maging ready ako if ever na ibigay na niya yung pinaka gusto ko talaga.
Such a nice way to look at it. Yung pagka-qualify mo for the Olympics na sinabi mo nga na binigay ni Lord sa iyo kasi you didn't get it via outright qualification. Matagal mo na bang dream na one day you would qualify for the Olympics?
Noong una, hindi ko siya pangarap. Pangarap ko siya para sa tatay ko kasi yun po yung dream ng papa ko, makalaro siya sa Olympics po. Para sa kanya po talaga, para sa pangarap niya na gusto ko ako magtuloy na makalaro sa Olympics po. Kumbaga, kapag ako nandun, yung pangarap na hindi niya natuloy, kumbaga natuloy ko na. Tapos nung habang tumatagal po ng tumatagal na, nakakapaglaro na po ako abroad, napapamahal na po ako sa boxing, dun ko po na na hindi lang pala pangarap ng papa ko to. Kumbaga pangarap ko na din to. Kumbaga gusto ko na din makalaro sa Olympics. Gusto ko na din matry.
Wow, ang ganda pala ng inspiration mo, yung tatay mo. So ngayon, nandito na. The Olympics is so soon. Anong feeling mo? Ano yung mental preparation ginagawa mo?
Ang iniisip ko po ngayon na wala mo ng pressure, wala mo ng kung ano man yung medalya, kung ano man yung gusto kong makuha. Wala, hindi ko siya iniisip. Kumbaga, huwag kong kalimutan yung mga taong pagdadaanan ko or mga struggle na pagdadaanan ko bago sa pinaka-top ko. Gold po kaagad yung iniisip ko. Makakalimutan ko po yung mga taong pagdadaanan ko papunta doon. So, step by step lang po.
Na-scout mo na ba ang mga kalaban mo? I'm sure most of them na nakalaban mo na, pero sinusundan mo ba yung mga training nila or focus ka lang sa sarili mo?
Siguro po ako po yung tipo ng boxer na hindi po ako mahilig mag-scout or tingnan yung mga... Kasi kapag once na lagi ko po silang sinusundan, lagi ko po silang tinitingnan, mas nadidistract po ako kasi mas nakikita ko sila lagi sa isipan ko eh. So, okay na po sa akin na isang beses, dalawang beses, enough na po sa akin. Tapos, kasi alam kong mas sinusubaybayan din po ng mga coaches ko po. Mas nagtitiwala po ako sa kung ano po yung idea at nakikita ng mga coaches ko. Then, plus yung idea na gusto kong i-adapt din po. So, pag i-combine po namin yung idea nila at idea ko, mas effective po.
Ano sa tingin mo yung magiging main challenge na kailangan mong ma-overcome pagdating sa Olympics?
Pinaka-main challenge po na siguro over na excitement po. Kasi iba yung sobrang nai-excite po talaga ako. Baka yun po yung magiging challenge ko po. Baka madala ako sa sobrang pagka-excite na nararamdaman ko po.
Nestie, ang buong bayan sumusuporta sa'yo. Maliban sa mga sumusuporta sa'yo, sino ba ang iniidolong mong bayani? Sino yung inspirasyon mo? Yung bang parang idol mo sa larangan ng boxing?
Siyempre, si Senator Manny Pacquiao po talaga. Isa sa pinaka-iniidolo ko po talaga. Tsaka yung boxer po ng Ireland po, Katie Taylor po, yung 60 kilos po. Gustong-gusto ko po talaga siya makalaro. Kasi nag-pro na po siya ngayon eh. Gustong-gusto ko siya. Kahit makasparring ko lang talaga siya.
Marami mga Pilipinong gustong gayahin ka. Yung journey mo, all the way to the Olympics. Anong mensahe mo sa mga Pilipino, men or women, na nag-aspire to become Olympians?
Gusto ko lang pong sabihin sa kanila na kahit ilang beses man kayong madapa, matalo, okay lang pong magpahinga, okay lang pong ramdamin yung sakit, pero wag na wag niyong bibitawan yung pangarap niyo, yung sinimulan niyo, at kung para kanino yung ginagawa niyong pagod, para kanino yung sakripisyong ginagawa niyo. Lagi niyong balikan yung rason ninyo kung bakit lahat ng yun, ng hirap na yun, ng sakripisyo na yun, bakit niyo ginawa, bakit niyo pinasukan. Lagi niyo pong balikan yung pinakasimula at simula na bakit nabuo yung pangarap niyo. Kasi magbibigay ng inspirasyon ulit sa inyo yun.
Nestie, maraming salamat sa oras mo. Ikaw ay isang inspirasyon. Hindi lang sa mga atleta, kundi sa sambayan ng Pilipino na nag-a-admire sa'yo. Yung mga sinabi mo ngayon sa interview na ito, talaga nakaka-inspire. Maraming salamat at good luck, God bless sa Olympics.
Thank you po, sir. Thank you po. Thank you din po.
Good luck, Nestie. We're cheering for you, praying for you. I'm just full of admiration for this Nestie. I mean, you can feel her blood boiling, like wanting to compete, and you can just imagine. I mean, she's really very dark. I think they've been jogging under the sun in Thailand, and you know what I'm really impressed with is her outlook. She has such a good outlook. I mean, I actually saw her lose that fight in Jakarta in the Asian Games, which, you know, most people felt she was robbed. And, you know, she was so sad because it was like, you know, when you, as a boxer, diba, you train so hard, you kill yourself, and then it was taken away from you. But, you know, I'm just so happy for her that things have turned around, that she has qualified for the Olympics. And I'm just so glad that she's pushing for her dream. And I really hope that she makes it.
Diane, that positive outlook of Nestie, I mean, it shone so brightly. And she didn't want to talk about her setbacks because, as she was saying, all she's focused on is the future. She's got her mind set on winning that gold medal in Tokyo. And as she said, forget the record. What's important is the performance. And for me, that's a very good sign of a fighter who's motivated and super focused to win for the country.
sports fans, we are excited to have with us our next guest. Ang dami niyang mga medals. She is a 2016 Rio Olympic silver medalist in weightlifting. She is a gold medalist in the 2018 Asian Games and 2019 SEA Games gold medalist. Of course, our very powerful weightlifter, Miss Hidilyn Diaz. Hidilyn, welcome to Play It Right. Quinito, Henson and I are here. And thank you so much for your time.
Hi po. Hi, Miss.
So Hidilyn, the last time nag-usap tayo was right after the Asian Championships. Ang dami mong sinabi after that, ang dami mong realizations. Kumusta ka na? What adjustments did you make to your training? Give us an update.
After ng Uzbekistan, nakapag-training at nakita ko yung improvement ng training ko. So ayun, yung body weight medyo okay naman. Hindi na siya problema. As of now, prepared na. Kailangan na lang kumbinsihin ang sarili. Ready na at kayang manalo.
Meron ka bang specific na winwork on? I know you were trying to work on your block power snatch ba?
For the first 1 month ng training, sobrang hirap. Twice a day yung training, tapos ang daming reps and sets. Every week din, may session ako with sports psychologist kasi kailangan ko talaga i-train yung sarili ko and to do more in training, not only physically but mentally. Every Saturday, ginagawa ko yung best. Then, yung back squat, deadlift, medyo maraming set and reps. Then, pulling, ganun din.
Hidilyn, i-review natin yung Olympic history mo. First time sa Olympics, 58 kilograms. Second time, 58 kilograms. Tapos sa third Olympics mo, sa Rio 2016, bumaba ka sa 53 kilograms, nakakuha ka ng silver medal. Ngayon naman, sa darating na Tokyo Olympics, now you're going to be competing sa 55 kilograms. Anong kaibahan? At malaki bang adjustment para sa'yo?
Siyempre, nung 58, medyo bata-bata pa ako. Mahilig ako sa fast food, mahilig ako sa lahat ng soft drinks, lahat nun. Then, nung bumaba ako sa 58, syempre yung diet nun, sobrang salad, tapos talagang yung diet sobra-sobra talaga. Then, ngayon, 55, ang mahirap kasi yung kalaban, syempre malakas na sila. Nung unang laro ko sa 55, ranked 9th ako. After 4 months, 5 months, nakapag-build ng strength, nakapag-build ng technique, naging top 5 ako sa world. So, dahan-dahan nakapag-build sa 55. And for me, mas advantage ang 55 kasi yung 58 na lakas ko, mas nagagawa ko ngayon.
Hidilyn, balikan natin yung Uzbekistan na competition last April. Nakakuha ng first prize si Liao. Palagay ko siya yung one of the main contenders sa darating na Olympics. Nag-fourth place ka, ang snatch mo was 94 at yung clean and jerk mo was 118. Sa tingin mo ba, yung mga nagawa ni Liao sa Uzbekistan, kaya mong higitin?
Nung Uzbekistan, sa totoo lang, hindi ko nagawa yung best ko. Hindi yun intentionally. Kaya lang, pagdating ko nung sa laro, akala ko magaling na, lakas na ako, ready na ako. Nang pagdating doon, iba pala pag wala kang laro for 15 months. So, nanibago ako. Grabe yung nervyos. Maganda rin yun. Hindi nila nakita na hindi ako masyadong malakas. Kung tatanungin kung kaya kong higitan, kailangan kong tanggapin na kaya ko. Kaya lang it takes time. Siguro, ngayon 30 days before my competition. So, by the time na mag-compete ako, siguro kine-claim ko na sa sarili ko, naniniwala na ako.
Hidilyn, sabi mo nga, no, nung lumaban ka sa Uzbekistan, sa Asian Championship, it was more than a year na hindi ka nag-compete. So, medyo ninervyos ka when you got up there to do your lift. Kahit akala mo ready ka na. So now, going into the Olympics, do you think you've gotten over that, yung kaba, diba?
Totoo lang, sabi nga ni Doc Karen, ang sports psychologist ko, yung kaba, yung pressure nandyan yan. It's how you will handle it, kung paano makontrol. At sabi din niya na kung walang pressure, walang kaba, boring yung journey mo po tung Tokyo. Kaya tumatawa lang ako. Pero sa totoo lang, medyo mahirap. Kasi syempre yung expectation, medyo mataas-taas sa akin. At parang every time na sinasabi mag-gold ka, parang nahihirapan ako. Pero ngayon, tumatawa na lang ako. Kasi kailangan kong tanggapin na ganun nga. Ganun talaga yung pressure. And may session ako every week with sports psychologist, then may yoga din ako.
Wow.
So, doon ako alam mo yun, para makapag-relax, para makapag-meditate at to stay connected with him. with God and with myself.
I didn't fast forward tayo. Tokyo Olympics. Walang spectators, iba yung environment. Nandun pa din yung kaba na yung virus, yung pandemya is still around. Anong feeling mo, no? Heading towards the Tokyo Olympics. At maraming nga nagsasabi, this could be a potential super spreader. Anong feeling mo?
Siyempre, yung feeling ko na matutuloy na yung Olympics sa wakas, so sobrang saya. Pero siyempre, kinakabahan din. Lalong-lalo na kasi everyday may test kami. Tapos pag alis namin dito 3 days before, magte-test din kami. Pagdating doon, 3 days din. So medyo mahirap yung protocol pero kinakabahan man ako. Pero basta gawin ko yung part ko as an athlete and as a human na maging part ng pag-stop ng pag-spread ng virus. Hindi pwedeng na ma-stuck tayo o matakot. Kailangan natin harapin ito.
Hidilyn, sa Tokyo, meron kang kasama na partner. Maraming sports fans, hindi nila inakala na magkakaroon ng second weightlifting bet ang Pilipinas. Anong masasabi mo tungkol kay Erlyn Ando, ang chances niya, and anong advice na ibibigay mo sa kanya? I'm sure she's nervous but also very excited.
Para sa akin kasi pag first time, yung advice ko sa kanila is enjoy the moment. Kasi hindi ka every time na makapaglaro sa Olympics. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the preparation, enjoy the tears, yung paghihirap sa training. Kahit unexpected yung pagpapasok niya sa Olympics, alam kong deserve niya yon. Pinaghirapan niya, nag-training siya. Kung ano man yung maging result dito, use it as lesson or yung experience, use it as a lesson para move forward siya for the next Olympics. Kasi may 3 years pa to prepare and hopefully na mas gagalingan niya sa next Olympics.
So, imagine mo, no, 4 na Olympics, no? You were 17 then, you're 29 now. How would you describe yourself yung pag-grow mo as an athlete and as a person?
Siguro, i-describe ko yung pag-open ng door yung 2008, nag-open yun ng door para makita ko kung ano yung Olympics noong 2008. Kasi talagang wala akong alam kung ano yung Olympics. 2012, doon ko nakita na ito pala mga kalaban ko. May chances pala. Kahit di ko nagawa, pero marami ako na-meet. Tapos noong 2016, doon nung time na masasabi ko na nasa klase na ako, maganda ng grado ko, kaya nanalo ako ng silver medal sa Olympics. Ngayon naman, siguro i-describe ko yung 2020 Tokyo Olympics ay dinlister gano'n, pang dinlister na, pang graduation na. Parang gano'n, no? Pang graduation na.
Well, Hidilyn, matanong ko sa iyo, no? You will be making history sa Tokyo. You will be the first and only female to make it to 4 Olympics. There is one other Filipino athlete who made it to 4 Olympics, si Cesar Jaime, who's in shooting. But he was a male. You will be the first female. Tapos we also have an Olympian who made it to 5 Olympics. Wow. He was a shooter named Martin Gison. You will be making history, Hidilyn, pagtungtong mo dun sa entablado to hoist your first attempt. You will already be making history. But I want to ask you, ano bang mas mahalaga sa iyo in terms of significance? No? Yung to be the first female 4-time Filipino Olympian, or when you were the flag bearer of the Philippines noong 2012 London Olympics?
Para sa akin, mas espesyal ang pagiging flag bearer noong 2012 London Olympics. Kasi syempre, iba yung feelings na ikaw ang nagwagayway ng flag doon sa opening ceremony. Malaking bagay yung sa akin. Then, yung 4th time na Olympics, medyo history siya para sa akin, pero iba yung nandun ka talaga eh. You know, tayong mga atleta, gusto natin na in action talaga, nandun tayo, may resulta, ganun tayo eh. So, mas importante sa akin nung 2012, although medyo naging pangit yung performance ko, pero magandang experience yun.
Well, Hidilyn, this will most likely be your last Olympics, although we're not ruling out Paris. For you to be able to make it to 5 Olympics, that would be amazing. And that would be a super effort. What is ahead for Hidilyn Diaz after the Tokyo Olympics?
After Tokyo Olympics, syempre, gusto ko din kunin ang diploma sa college. Then, after that, SEA Games. Then, baka Asian Games. Then, after that, titignan ko kung kaya ko pang maglaro sa Paris. Kasi syempre, kailangan kong tignan kung kaya ng katawan ko at ng performance ko. Sa ngayon, masaya ako sa performance ko.
Well, thank you very much, Hidilyn. And we're looking forward to an excellent performance. Whatever happens in Tokyo, you will always be in the heart of every Filipino. Maraming salamat, Hidilyn.
We're so proud of you and so happy that you pushed through and that you're persevering, and we're super cheering and praying for you, and we're believing with you for your best performance.
Thank you very much, Hidilyn. Maraming salamat sa iyo for gracing our program, Play It Right TV. And we hope you catch us on YouTube and on Facebook. Play It Right TV is here for all Filipino athletes. Maraming salamat, Hidilyn.
Maraming salamat po.
Well, wow, you can just feel the adrenaline already now from Hidilyn, diba? When she takes that deep breath, you can almost see her like on that stage about to put her hands on the bar and just really focusing on lifting that weight and winning for the Philippines. Yeah, I really admire Hidilyn because she's come a long way, Quinito. I mean, from I remember the time when she was just one of the youngest to make it to the Olympics at age 17, 18, when somebody mentioned that there was this bright new sports star that we had in weightlifting. I was like, wow, who's this Hidilyn Diaz? And now, of course, she's one of the veterans and one of the most accomplished athletes of the Philippines. I mean, just getting this far is already amazing, and having stayed with this, all the hirap of weightlifting training, the mental force that you need, the mental tenacity that you need, it just really shows you what kind of a tough woman she is. And of course, she's asked for our prayers. All our prayers and energy and force are behind her in this Olympic bid and hoping for a gold. So
my main takeaway, Diane, was the impression that she gave of her love of country. I was so impressed. When I asked her the question, what meant more to her? The flag bearer role that she had in 2012, or whether she will become part of Philippine history,
right,
by becoming the first female to participate in 4 Olympics. And I thought, honestly, that she would say, yung 4-time Olympics, because that's a record. That's history. But she said what was more important to her was raising the flag of the Philippines in that parade, being the flag bearer, waving that flag. I thought that spoke volumes of why she's sacrificing, why she's doing all her efforts to bring honor to our country. It's that nationalist spirit that's keeping her going, that's moving her forward. And I was just so impressed by that answer because it completely floored me. That is what makes Hidilyn Diaz a great athlete.
Saludo.
Sports fans, as the Olympic Games are fast approaching, we are privileged to guest on Play It Right TV the President of the Philippine Olympic Committee, Congressman Bambol Tolentino. Welcome po, Kong Bambol, and congratulations because this delegation na pupunta po sa Tokyo will be the biggest Philippine delegation to the Olympics in 17 years. Hindi pa natin alam kung exactly ilan sila. It could be 19, it could be 20, but definitely this will be the biggest delegation of the Philippines to the Olympics in 17 years. Ano po ang comment nyo for this achievement?
Tama po, we're happy, and the whole country deserves it. Na this is the biggest after 17 years, after Sydney, I think. So, di natin alam, baka matpantayan pa natin yung yung pong Sydney.
From Bambol in the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, ang dami po natin disappointments, frustrations, and close calls. Yung po sa karate, yung po sa cycling, yung po sa wrestling na hindi sila nakakuha ng mga visas. So hindi sila nakapunta sa qualifiers nila. Yung kayak, hindi din sila nakaalis because one of them had COVID. So the whole delegation was compromised. Ano po masasabi ninyo, no? Given the pandemic, we had all of these very frustrating close calls that could have even enlarged our delegation.
Totoo po yun. Yung po talagang expectations namin na it will be more than 20. More than 20 po yan dahil nga po dun sa mga cases na ganon. Sayang. COVID, pandemic, tinamaan yung iba, even basketball, kayak, etc. So, dapat talaga umabot tayo sa more than 20, 25. So, that will be the biggest. That will be the biggest.
Sir, sabi nyo nga na you're expecting na this delegation will produce medals. Hindi nyo lang alam kung gold, silver, or bronze, but hopefully gold, yun ang kutob nyo. Can we also perhaps expect some surprises from some of our other athletes?
Yeah, definitely, Dayan, meron. Of course, boxers, skateboarding. Sinasabi din ni Marge na marami siyang tinago na hindi na niya kailangang ilabas. Pasok na naman siya. What else? Golf, of course. Hindi natin inasahan na gano'n. Yung iba pong makakalaban niya doon, parang nakalaban niya sa US Open. Si Kurt, yung mga ganong kick, di ba? Baka may mga tinatago uli siyang ganong kick na umabot sa ganon, di ba? Si Kaloy will not be playing one event. Ilang events po yung lalaroan ni Kaloy?
Oo nga, yeah.
Di ba? So, ilang yon? Kung perfect siya doon, so ilang medals din po yon. So, marami talagang surprises.
So, would you say ang pinaka-challenge na lang ngayon leading up to the games is just to keep our athletes and everyone healthy and safe to get there?
Yes, Dayan. We're monitoring them, pati lahat ng nasa abroad. Even we're monitoring their flights. Kasi hindi natin alam, talagang sure na sure yung ticket and flights nila. Baka magkaroon ng canceled flight. So, paano yun? Kailangan maghanap ka pa uli ng ibang tickets and flights. Lalo na yung nasa abroad na nagkakaroon pa ng until now, may mga surge pa na sa new variant.
Just reviewing kung ano mga nangyari from the time we prepared for 2020 Tokyo Olympics hanggang po ngayon. Ano po ang mga key factors that contributed to the big delegation that we are going to be sending? Yung po bang coordination with the PSC and POC mukhang maganda, at yung pong suporta ng private sector, nagkulang ba ho yun? Sapat lang or sobra-sobra, or could it have been better?
Palagay ko po all the factors you've mentioned, yung relationship with the PSC, okay? One, relationship with the national government, malaking tulong po yan. Of course, yung private sector na sobra-sobra po ang tinutulong nila. So, with the new mandate sa POC, malaki po ang tiwala ng private sectors, So, isa pa po yung momentum na yung ipinakita po natin very recently, yung overall champion natin ng SEA Games. So, nakita po ng lahat, nakita ng mga atleta, nakita ng stakeholders, nakita ng government. Kaya pala natin. So, palagi ko talagang ganadong-ganado po yung mga atleta natin na eto na.
As you said, Kong Bambol, na after the first place finish of the Philippines sa huling SEA Games, nakita natin na kaya talagang maging number one ang bansa sa sports, And now, with things hopefully coming back to normal, with the pandemic, hopefully be in control, ano po ma-expect ng mga athletes for the program of the POC leading to the SEA Games, the next Asian Games, and to the next Olympics in 2024 sa Paris?
Well, of course, continue continue support, continue the program, continue all the programs of NSA. continue all the coordination and support of POC. Naglalabasan nga po yung ibang ano natin eh. We have to revive some sports, some NSA. Ito pong Vietnam SEA Games, ilan yung ni-research ko na not reorganized but to be active again, na magkakaroon po ng games sa Vietnam. Bodybuilding, fin swimming. Ang dami pong lumabas na bago eh. Ito po sa Tokyo, ilalaruin yung mountain wall climbing.
So meron tayong representatives sa bodybuilding.
Lately, 2 weeks ago, kare-recognize lang po ng IOC yung 6 na bago. Muay, Sambo, kickboxing, I think 5 eh, mayroon pa. Cheer dance, di ba? Tapos sa Paris, lalaruin po yung breakdancing. Ang gagaling po ng Pilipino dyan. Panlaban po ang Pilipino dyan. Ang alam ko po, nasa IF ngayon ng breakdancing, halos ang kinukonsulta, may mga Pilipino.
As a medal sport or demonstration sport, sir?
As a medal sports.
Oh, fantastic.
So, galing. Hindi naman sa pero breakdancing, talagang dyan tayo nakikilala.
Yeah. Well, sir, Quinito and I and all of us here from Play It Right are behind you and wishing you all the best and cheering for our athletes and praying na finally this will be the year that we can win our first gold and we can make our country proud. Quinito, do you have any last pahabol kay Congressman Bambol before we let him go?
Thank you, Diane, and thank you, Kong Bambol. Hindi lang po ito advance congratulations, but congratulations already for the present because of the delegation, the number of athletes that we will be sending. And it was because of your leadership, yung inyong vision, and all the trust and confidence that the public sector has given you because of your new mandate as POC President. So, hangang-hanga kami sa leadership ninyo, and it looks like it's bearing fruit, it's reaping dividends. Congratulations po, Kong Bambol. More power to you.
Thank you, Sir Quinito and Ma'am Dayan. God willing.
Play It Right would like to thank our sponsor who made this episode possible. ASICS has partnered with the Philippine Olympic Committee to be the official delegation outfitter and footwear of the Philippine delegation to the Tokyo Olympics. Of course, ASICS wants our athletes to look good, feel good, and compete at their best. You too can proudly wear the colors of the Philippine flag with special Olympic-themed merchandise and shoes exclusively available at ASICS stores and online. You can check out the link below for more information.
Well, Dayan, ang ganda ng usapan natin with Kong Bambol. Dami niyang mga sinabi. But yung main takeaway ko sa kanya is yung mga factors na sinabi niya that led to the formation of this biggest Filipino delegation to the Olympics in 17 years. Yung sinabi niyang coordination with the PSC, the momentum of the 2019 victory in the Southeast Asian Games, of course, the trust and confidence of the public sector for the POC. I think malaking bagay din yun.
Yeah. Well, Quinito, talking to him, I don't envy his position, aside from our athletes, there's a lot of pressure on him, especially as the head of the Philippine Olympic Committee, because so many things were needed to be arranged just for our athletes to be able to get there. And I can feel from him now, aside from the desire, of course, for our athletes to be well prepared by giving them the best training as possible, the best training exposure abroad, is there's also that added pressure of making sure that they get there safe, COVID-free, and not just when they arrive, but all throughout the games, diba? There's that added pressure in this very unique Olympic Games that's being held now in Tokyo. So, wow, we wish him all the best, and let's pray that God will take care of our athletes and give us the blessing of that goal that we've all been dreaming of for so long. Thank you, sports fans, for being with us on this very special Olympics episode. We are at the edge of our seats as we count down the days until the games begin.
Join us and always be part of the game. Now remember, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram and Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and our website. This is Quinito Henson.
And I'm Dyan Castillejo, and we are here to
Play it right.